MP Pentonville in London.
Code red would be like something to do with blood.
Staff struggling to keep inmates under control.
They've just jumped on the netting. Prison officers are running up the stairs to try and get them down.
Day in, day out, you kind of are dealing with incidents from self-harm to violence, people with severe mental health issues.
You worry about, opening the door in the morning and making sure that they're alive.
Freeze! Squad! Get your bed!
Come have a look at this one.
Oh my God.
Prisoners kept in their cells for long periods.
What do you think about when you're lying in bed at night?
Try not to think.
Can the system cope?
People are tired, the system is running at 99.9%, systems get frayed and that does cause problems.
We're going inside Britain's prison crisis. Welcome to Pentonville, one of Britain's most dangerous jails. Some prison officers are so frightened of being targeted on the outside, we've had to blur their faces. Pentonville is hugely overcrowded. Built in 1842 for 520 inmates, it houses more than 1,200. Staff are overstretched and on the verge of breaking point.
On a bad day, the prisoners can be very angry, upset, they're frustrated. Obviously, staff are struggling as well with the overcrowding. They're trying to get everyone under control as much as they can, trying to support them as much as we can as well. There's a lot of people who are in prison that are remanded. They are waiting to go to court. They don't know how long they're going to be here. Some people have probably served their time already. Because Pentonville is a remand jail, it's kind of full all the time and just waiting. This is them waiting all the time and being frustrated.
A short while later, some of that frustration boils over.
So they've just jumped on the netting. Prison officers are running up the stairs to try and get them down.
What the staff are saying is that it can turn really quickly. A quiet moment can become chaotic within a matter of seconds. As one prison officer said, it's like the flick of a switch. In this case, the situation was brought under control rather quickly, but that's not always the case.
Sacha is working with newly arrived prisoners. She's in her first year in the job.
So what are you doing now?
So we've just come back on to the induction wing after lunch. It's pretty calm at the minute, but I'm sure that won't last for a long time as we're about to get some of the guys out for their association. So that's an hour where they can have their showers, speak to their friends that they're not sharing a cell with, do any kind of paperwork or applications that they need. Often it's time when they have to collect their medication as well, so it's not a lot of time, but they have quite a lot of things to fill that time with, so they use it quite wisely. And if they want to, for example, clean their cells, it's also a time when they can do that as well.
What do you need? Washing up liquid and a form for the pins. Okay, I can bring that. Okay? Okay,
I'll leave it open. There's another bell over there as well.
Some people have described it as chaotic at times.
I would agree, especially I think with the induction wing, with it being such a turnover of people. So people come in, they have their first couple of days here and then they move off. Every 3 days or so, the wing looks completely different, and you never know what it's going to look like in terms of opposing gang members, people with mental health issues who are just genuinely quite volatile. Day in, day out, you kind of are dealing with incidents from self-harm to violence to kind of people with severe mental health issues who kind of are having episodes that you kind of need to, obviously as officers we have training on these kind of things, but some of the mental health issues we see are quite severe.
You don't think twice before opening a flap. Do you ever feel a sense of vulnerability?
A lot of it is instinct. I think as you gain experience in the job, you get to know the prisoners on your landing. Even though induction it changes quite regularly, you get a feel for the people and how they interact when you open that door. If you know someone kind of perhaps there's a history of staff assault, like you might get your colleagues over before you open that door just to protect them against anything happening. But I think the key to like knowing that you can open that door and open that door safely is just building that relationship with prisoners, because if you know them, you know how they behave, you know how they are regularly, they know you, they know how you are, it makes it safer for everyone.
There's another alarm, this time code red.
Generally, a code red would be like something to do with blood.
Got a prisoner who's self-harmed here. He's made superficial cuts to his arm. We don't really know why he's done it at the moment, so it's not deemed serious. And we'll be able to provide treatment on site, but what will happen now is treatment will be given and then we'll take him out of his cell. He'll speak with the senior officer at the wing and they'll try and put any support in place and try and deal with the situation for him as best as they can.
How often do things like this happen?
It varies. It can happen often. Sometimes we can go a day without it, sometimes we can go an hour without it. It just varies on the time and day, situation, etc.
We were told the prisoner had carved the words Mum and Dad onto his arm with a sharp object.
I've been inside several prisons over the last decade or so, and I've never seen anything like this. The chaos, the fast-paced environment, and the prison officers are doing everything they can, but often they're struggling to cope. So talk me through what's happening in that cell behind you.
So just here you can see that we've got a prisoner under what we call constant supervision. So we've assessed that the prisoner in that cell is at such risk of potential suicide or serious self-harm that we have to watch him constantly.
What is self-harm like in this jail? Obviously it's a problem across the estate, but in Pentonville particularly.
So yes, Pentonville does have issues of self-harm and attempted suicide, similarly to other establishments across the estate. There can be lots of different reasons why prisoners self-harm in custody. A lot of those individuals might have very specific types of risk. Could be struggling with detox, could be struggling with depression, mental health issues or issues surrounding neurodiversity. So it's our job, and the staff work really, really hard here to help diagnose those issues.
Michael's inside for drug offences. He's seen the impact of poor mental health on fellow prisoners close up.
I've actually been in a cell where my cellmate was struggling because he had young kids, so he wasn't getting to see them. But I said to him, look, you need to speak to me, it's no problem. You're my cellmate. I did actually fall asleep that night, and I woke up to him hanging behind me. I jumped up, put my trainers on, pressed the bell, sat him on my shoulders. He couldn't have been there too long because he was still breathing. The staff came, it was night time, so they can't just open the door with one officer. There has to be 2 or 3, I think. So he's come, he's seen what's going on, he said, please, stay there, hold him. He's called the alarm, come running through. As soon as he heard the gate at the end of the landing open and there's more staff, he opened the door, came down, cut him down, asked me to stand outside so he could sort him out, cool. And since then, I think it was an eye opener, that one, because I didn't, even though he spoke to me, showed me how stressed he was, and I would listen, I didn't know how deep it really was. And it goes to show you don't see everything. Somebody can talk to you and tell you, yeah, I'm struggling, but you don't know how much they're struggling. He did survive it.
This summer has been very bad because we have staff away on leave as well, and then you got prisoners that are coming in. Obviously we had loads of stuff going on the outside as well, like protests and stuff. Ended up in prison, they're waiting, and then there's still prisoners who've been here for years that are waiting to be sentenced still, going to court. They're still on trial. There's been a lot of violence, increase in violence a lot in the prisons. We've had staff injured. I've recently come back from injuries myself.
What happened to you?
I had both my wrists broken. I was just stopping a fight. It was literally stopping a fight. It doesn't matter how much training you have. If there's a fight that you have to try and get under control, we all go together. There could be 10 of us, and it could be 3 of them, but it's still, like, you can still get injured in it. It can be a lot because you have to You worry about, you know, opening the door in the morning and making sure that they're alive and they haven't either assaulted their cellmate because of a fight overnight, you know. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Tell me what the worst thing is about being in prison.
It's the hygiene. It's definitely the hygiene. You've got cockroaches. Some people, even down to yesterday, some people saying, oh, I had 3 mice in my cell last night. You have to block the door. Like, you literally have to block up any hole or crevice in your cell just to stop any little mites or anything coming in. And you just feel itchy. Do you know what I mean? You want to feel comfortable in your cell, at least. That's the one place you want to feel comfortable, is in your cell. If you look into the showers, you'll see lime scale, holes in the walls, and that's where the cockroaches come from. They live in the walls. So that's one of the main things.
What would you say to somebody who might be watching this, who's thinking, but you're in here because you've broken the law, it's not supposed to be a hotel?
No, that's fair enough, but the bare minimum is cleanliness, at least. Now, as long as we can stay clean, we keep ourselves clean, tidy, that is all we ask. That's the bare minimum. That's it.
Mark is on remand for drug offences.
This is what we have to sleep in on a daily basis. We've got
You
a
top
bunk
or
bed.
bottom?
I'm top bunk.
Okay.
So it's a double cell. You've got the toilet, sink in here, which is everything around. So this is how close our quarters are to our beds. Tables for our clothes, and a little table for our trousers, for our trainers and our TVs and everything. So yeah, it's not much space. As you said, you've gone from a house to now being basically a 6x6 or
With another person?
with another person, correct. So yeah, it's a double bang up. This is how we have to live on a daily basis.
There are some people who don't feel sorry for prisoners. They think you've broken the law, you should be in here. I thought, what would you say to that?
I'd say you can't judge every book by its cover. Like, people make mistakes in life, and unfortunately I made a mistake and it's cost me to be here now, but that doesn't mean I'm a bad person. I'm still a normal human being and I want to be treated like a normal human being.
Do you think prison is providing a rehabilitation?
No. It's a punishment. It's not a rehabilitation. It's hard to rehabilitate yourself in a place where you've got gang violence, postcode wars, drug violence, money wars. If you've got beef there, violence there, drugs there, people collapsing here, the staff, they're outstretched. They're trying to do this, and this, but now you want help as well.
We meet another inmate with complaints about his cell.
Because I've had damp in here for 3 weeks.
It doesn't smell good in here. What's that?
The toilet's been leaking. Look at the toilet. Look, I'll show. Come have a look at this. Look.
Oh my word.
Look. I've been telling them about that for 3 weeks.
I'm quite taken aback by the smell in that cell. It can be described as being a mixture of feces, urine and rotten food, and I don't think it's going to leave me for a while.
Staff here say gangs are another major problem.
Gang affiliation, gang issues are the biggest reasons why we have so many probably people in jail, more than other things. It's a lot of gang affiliation, especially in Pentonville. When they're all here, if someone's stepped on their turf outside or sold something on their area, like drugs on their area now, or hurt someone in their area, they will know that they're from that gang. They'll go after them. We have to organise them in where each landing has different areas so they can't mix with each other. It's time consuming, because if they all got on with each other, we could just have them all out together. But because they don't, we have to separate them, make sure everyone's away behind their doors before we get the next group out to have their time out.
When things do turn violent, sometimes weapons are involved.
What we've got is weapons that have been fashioned by prisoners whilst they're in custody. We've got the toilet brushes here where they've had razor blades melted into them.
What's this pole?
This is part of a broom or a mop handle that's been broken in half and then fashioned into a weapon.
Prisons are dealing with an overcrowding crisis at the moment. Have you noticed an impact of overcrowding on weapons, more weapons being able to be brought in by visitors, getting past people like you?
Certainly prisoners are finding that they need weapons more, or they feel they need weapons more than what they did in the past. So that's why we have a lot more weapons being fashioned inside the establishment. People feel they need it for protection or for whatever reason. And it's not even some people that are under threat by anyone or anyone who's trying to take them off it. It's just the mindset that they feel, you know, they get scared and they fashion something to try and protect themselves. Fortunately, people don't tend to try and murder each other, but they do try and maim and harm each other severely. It tends to be sort of rival gangs. Yeah, it doesn't tend to be just the lone guy just getting randomly attacked. There's always a reason behind it.
Prisoners undergo full body scans to find anything they shouldn't be carrying.
So this scanner will show whether they're hiding anything inside their body, any drugs, any weapons.
Yeah. Depends what prisoners coming in. Your licence recalls, majority have the drugs and stuff on them because a lot of them know they're coming back in, so they will conceal it full well knowing that they're going back into jail.
You would think that would hurt.
Yeah, it depends on how big it is. You do see some big things, iPhones especially I've seen, which they're pretty wide, but flick knives, but it's mainly Zankos or the Kinder eggs, which are packed full of drugs.
And how do you get them out if they refuse to do it themselves?
Well, the options are, if they're new in, we'll give them the option of go to the toilet, we'll give them some food, try to get it out themselves. Then obviously we'll search and everything, and we'll give them an evidence bag to put it in. Bring them back, research them, re-scan them. If it's still showing, then we'll ask them again. If they're still refusing, they'll go down the segregation unit until it's handed over, or they get rid of it, and we'll have to keep re-scanning them until it's completely clear.
In September 2024, the government was planning to release some prisoners early in England and Wales to make space. The hope that it would ease the workload on overstretched staff.
The pressure is on the system in its entirety. I think my staff are probably feeling the pressure. You know, the staff in places like offender management units and in receptions that are working until 10 o'clock at night, serving the courts, etc. People are tired. The system is running at 99.9% constantly, and when you run at that kind of high level of output for sustained period of time like we have done, people get tired, systems get frayed, and that does cause problems.
In the offender management unit, we manage all prisoners that come into our custody through our reception. We manage courts, cases, sentence calculations, transfers, categorisations, and absolutely everything about that prisoner.
You're getting ready to release prisoners next week. Tell me what you're doing at the moment.
So we're ensuring that all